Hello everyone, it is me, Rory Paddock, 4 picks from the paddock.co.uk. It is just gone 8:30. So, as it seems very accustomed to do so, it is time for today's Tips Live, being broadcast obviously across Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. And today it wasn't too bad a day. Hopefully you got on some of my selections. Didn't smash it like I hoped. A near miss. But today, Corey Lake was a non-runner, and then I followed that up with 2 winners from Haydock, Pivwan and Sarumi. Don't Stop Now was, I wouldn't say an unlucky second, but probably could have gone a bit closer, especially with the favourite being pulled. And then Love Dreams failed to deliver tonight on the all-weather. But without further ado, there are 5 selections again that I like the look of for Thursday's action across the cards. I've got 3 win selections in the form of horses at Yarmouth, Newbury and Nottingham, all over here in England on the flat. But then I take in 2 big priced each way selections over the water in Ireland at Leopardstown. So without further ado, in time order, let's get stuck in and bring up tomorrow's cards. The first of which is the 2:35 at Yarmouth. Now, if you've been following my selections, you know I'm a William Haggis fan, and the yard of William Haggis is on absolutely fire of late, with 12 winners from their last 39 runners, and they look set to add to their tally in the 3rd race on the card here at Yarmouth with Pagan. Now, the horse returned from a 177-day layoff by springing somewhat of a shock when just over a length behind in second at Doncaster. Unlike the joint favourite, which we see there on the screen, that goes by the name of Aylesford, the horse should be pretty fit from its recent run just over a week ago. Aylesford there has 211 days off the course that he's got to contend with, does William Knight's runner, and I'm happy to side for the combination of Haggis and Fallon, with Pagan to get Thursday's action off to a flyer. We then, just 20 minutes later, head to Newbury, where I hope to see the Derby winning Silks of Godolphin enter the winner's enclosure once again. This time in the form of Creative Flair. 3-year-old Charlie Appleby trained. Looks a pretty competitive race. It's a listed event. Could produce, I think it does, certainly has the scope to produce a handful of nice types. Ilver, basically in due course. However, on paper, Charlie Appleby's Charge, their second in a listed race last time out, looked probably the best form on paper. And I know that racing isn't run on a sheet of A4, but the stats don't often lie, and she's the one to be on for me. At a price, however, both Vasella and Aura Blue may do better than their current 8-1 and 12-1 prices might suggest. But for me, the favourite's favourite for a reason. Creative Flair, the one to be on for Godolphin in the 2:55 at Newbury. Then we take a little trip to the Midlands, where the penultimate race on the card at Nottingham is their 4:30. It's a 1 mile, 2 furlong fillies handicap for 3-year-olds. And the bookmakers seem to price this up almost as somewhat of a 2-horse race between Jewel in My Crown and Glen Eaglet. And although I do actually side with one of those 2 horses, I think it's perhaps a tad unfair on the likes of Tiki Fire and Coupe de Champagne, who might be worth a punt for each way punters if all 8 go to post. That being said, however, I'm going to go against the current market leader and side with the mount of Jamie Spencer. Glen Eaglet, as we can see there, made their first reappearance on turf at Bath last time out when showing a much improved performance to claim third. Now making their handicap debut off a decent enough mark, I think Spencer can steer Charlie Fellows' horse to their first ever success. Julian McCrown obviously won last time out, but I don't know how much I trust in terms of that form. And with a little bit of obviously a difference and discrepancy in weight there for Glen Eaglet in their favourite, I'm happy to go against the favourite. Glen Eaglet, for me, in the 4:30. So, we've dusted off our three horses, our three races in England, and it's now time to have a little trip over the water to Ireland, where I'm going to take in the final two races from Leopardstown. Now, the first of what are two outsiders here at Ireland, and it's a horse I've had in my own personal tracker for a long time now, and it's former course winner Nam. Now, I've been checking every Irish flat meeting for the past 2 months, waiting for this 7-year-old to step back out onto the course. Basically, if I'm being very honest, I do use Timeform as my sort of tracker, and for whatever reason, it was not picking up this horse whatsoever in their database. So I've manually had to check every day these Irish flat meetings for the last 2 months to see when this horse was out, because I did not want to miss it. And I'm glad that I haven't. Now, last time out, it finished 9th, and let's be honest, it wasn't much to write home about. But if I'm being very honest, I don't think that was the day it was going to be given much of a chance by Connections anyway. That was over a mile last time, so I think this step up in trip is definitely going to be an improvement. He's on an absolutely fantastic mark. Although the draw is far from the best, I can't ignore a horse that I've kept such a close eye on for such a long time. Should be fitter for his reappearance effort. Got Colin Keane in the saddle, which is also a very noticeable jockey booking. I can't see him going off at 16s like he is now. If he fails to deliver, though, I will give you this bit of information, this bit of sort of wisdom to part. If he doesn't do much in this race, don't let that put you off him. Put him in your tracker for either here at Leopardstown if he returns, or he does very well at Naas as well. So keep in mind those two venues if this horse doesn't deliver. Make sure he pops him in your tracker, and it will go somewhere and go very close. Probably one of those two courses. Hopefully, though, it will be in this race. Now, we don't have to wait long for my final selection. It's in the next race on the card, the final race, the 750. And I've gone for yet another 16-1 shot. This time in the form of anyone can have it all. Now, the horse changed hands to Mark Halford, and for the most part has been absolutely woeful. However, showed a drastic improvement to claim fourth when just 3 lengths behind the winner last time out. The horse hung in the closing stages and seemed to be staying on at the line, somewhat a tad unlucky, but I'm hoping the trainer now has an idea about what the horse will need to go close, and I think it could very well be this 1 mile, 7 furlong trip. Top jockey Ronan Whelan keeps the ride, and again at a massive price. I'm happy to side with him in what looks a really poor race. 16-1, a decent each way shout. For anyone can have it all in the lucky last at Leopardstown. So, those are my 5 selections. We've got Pagan in the 235 at Yarmouth, Creative Flair in the 255 at Newbury, Glen Eaglet in the 430 at Notts. All those 3 are win selections. And then each way, We've got Nam in the 720, and anyone can have it in the 750, both at Leopardstown. Again, fingers crossed for more of the same. And as always, any likes, comments, and shares, always welcome. Fingers crossed, touch wood, and good luck if you follow.